So are you saying, I know you've mentioned the Matrix before, right? Do you believe like that's an actual real thing in the sense of the way that the movie portrayed it to be? Or do you think it's just a level of programming that we've received since inception and through public education and all those things?
I do believe we live in a highly advanced computer generated simulation. But at the same token, it is very real because it is all energy, you know. Um, so as I'm continuing to this spiritual awakening, I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm just sharing with you where I'm at right now.
Right.
You know, it's removing my attention from all of these places, and now just being in that centered place.
Do you think that all of this stuff is just bullshit at the end of the day that is distracting us?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on, Diddy. Diddy has been really going through it recently. What did you think about the many claims that were made against Diddy? And why do you think that he settled within a day of the claims
What
coming out?
a lot of us speculate that he's a big scapegoat right now. He's another big distraction from other things going on, you know? So I'm trying to get down to the bottom. Like, what is it? Supposedly after New Year's Eve, more names on the Jeffrey Epstein list are going to be dropped, like 150 plus names.
Right, right. That's true.
So I've also seen Diddy in two Freemason poses recently. One of them where he was outside at his house in Miami with like one sock raised up. That's a Freemason initiation code. And then the other one was TD Jakes. That's coming out. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in church, like listening to TD Jakes. I remember like as a kid, like trying to fall asleep and he was screaming. I couldn't like sleep in church because he was so loud. But like now he's being exposed for all of this. They're calling him a power bottom.
But don't you think, okay, like this stuff, a lot of this stuff is happening behind the scenes all the time, right? And lawsuits are happening that, people aren't privy to and people are getting paid off or whatnot. Now, for all this stuff to hit the media, though, like it seems like he's not being protected anymore. Like, did he upset somebody that is higher up there or like what is going
I,
on?
I think he is being protected.
Oh, you do, even with all the public scrutiny and everything, because that's going to be attached to his name forever, though.
It doesn't matter up there. They control the courts. They control the media. They can, you know what I mean? Like, like people, their attention span is so short that in 5 years they could completely forget about it. The media could put, oh, Diddy came out, benevolence. He fed this whole country, and everybody would be like, oh my God, I love Diddy because that's the programming of the mainstream media.
Mm.
And they'll
That's
just forget
true.
about it.
I mean, you see a lot of these things like with different actors that they've done some pretty effed up stuff, back in the day, but then over time they're beloved again. Once you start winning again, people forget easily. People forget
Yeah,
once you start
and
winning again.
it's not about not extending forgiveness, mercy, and grace to people, but it's about the deception that's happening. Like with Black China, all of a sudden, there were these human trafficking allegations, but then all of a sudden she gave her life to Jesus, and she's now this Christian person and now selling hair.
So so you think that the disinformation hitting the news and the media is a distraction, even though Diddy's really going through it right now as far as the court of public opinion?
Yeah, I mean, he might not be going through it. You know what I mean? They're probably just like, yo, we need to use this story, blah 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 blah, or it could be his next level into,
It's kind of like that
success.
sacrifice thing that they talk about, basically.
Hmm.
Wow. So it's because a lot of people feel like with him settling within one day was just like he wanted the problem to go away so fast, right? But his lawyer did come out and say that this is not an admission of guilt at all.
Really, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know those details. I mean, we don't know for sure. But what I can tell you is I do see the initiation codes. uh, Mainstream media usually lies. And this is why I was like, yo, why is TMZ reporting this like till no end? TMZ is lies all day. They hate Britney Spears. They hate Justin Bieber. They love Cardi B. They love the Kardashians. They hate Kanye. I'm like, what's going on? Why is this such a big story? Because like whatever they don't want getting out doesn't get out. Like, why did Beyonce and Jay-Z get publicized on TMZ for being on that document for human trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, all those people? Why not? It's controlled, heavily controlled. So there's got to be a deeper reason.
And then you have actor Columbus Short, right? Who's like from like Stomp the Yard and whatnot. He came out and he said Diddy called him one night real late and asked him to come over to the Beverly Hills Hotel. And it was just him there and no one else. So like, I don't know, but it's kind of weird. Like, is everyone in cahoots, or it's just like when you kick someone when they're already down, or like...
Right. It's weird. I think this is how it goes. It's like everyone in Hollywood is out for each other. Ain't nobody real friends with each other. And they all, certain people know certain secrets. You can make friends with somebody, get into the next level. You know what I mean? But then you may end up taking them out. Like, it's just cutthroat. It's dog eat dog in that world.
But don't they all somewhat belong to some kind of like fraternity of elites and whatnot? So it's like
yeah, they belong to a fraternity of elites where they all kill each other and drink each other's blood. Absolutely.
But I mean, like, don't they have to like somewhat higher up? They have to answer to somewhat. So it's like,
it's just like the people. They don't mind the people killing each other as long as you don't kill the top dude.
I see. It's really interesting when you sit back and like really watch it all happen.
Yeah, it's and some people, like, I think some people are allowed in Hollywood just to be fed off of. You know what I mean?
Sorry, go ahead.
And it's just about knowing the game, learning the game, how much you know. And can you be more cutthroat? Will you shed more blood than him?
After all the claims about Diddy, right? Then you had Jamie Foxx and then Bill Cosby, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jimmy Iovine, L.A. Reid, Axl Rose, Vin Diesel. This like people were coming out with claims left and right. Like they were just coming out the woodwork. It was crazy. Like, what did you think? Was that just a witch hunt or a cash grab? Like, what do you think is going on?
Like the Me Too movement?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, but it's just like a resurgence almost like right now. Like,
right now.
Yeah.
I know. I think part of it is stuff is being exposed. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of disclosure happening right now. So that's partly to do with it. But when something like the Diddy situation is publicized like heavily, especially on TMZ, like TMZ Lies, I wonder.
When you see these people suddenly just blow up in fame, like just like overnight almost, right? What do you think that is a situation where it was planned previously? Like they were already approached by somebody powerful and was like, hey, we're going to get you, you know what I mean, to that next level if you agree to be our person? Or like, do you even believe in any organic fame anymore?
Not really. No. I mean, it can happen, but no, I don't.
Because so much of it seems like, I don't know, when you really like break it down, it just seems like so crazy. Like when you even look at some of these artists, right, that have like no talent, that all of a sudden they were discovered on the internet, by somebody. And I don't understand like why they get pushed as heavy as they do when there's so many talented people out there. I don't know if it's like a specific gimmick or like, what is it?
Yeah, because they're willing to do what the others aren't. And they don't want talented people at the forefront with influence and power.